All right, I've timed this speech to be about 7 minutes long, so if you want to set your timers and take a nap, that's all right. I'd like to start by thanking everyone for being here tonight. Thank you for celebrating this milestone with us and helping us get this far. Thank you to the teachers and faculty of Global. Thank you to the administrators and district employees that helped WISD function. Thank you to all of our families and all of our friends for being there when we needed them. Thank you to Taco Casa and Chicken Express for being there when I needed them. On a more personal note, Dad, thank you for working hard and encouraging me to finish the things that I start. Many of the things that I am most proud of in my life happened because you pushed me to stick with them. Mom, thank you for always being there for me. Thank you for forcing me to do things that I'm uncomfortable with and for giving me your trust. Webster's Dictionary defines graduation as the award or acceptance of an academic degree or diploma. I think a lot of us are just here today to get that diploma, but let's take a moment first to think about what that means. Over these past 4 years, we made memories that will last a lifetime. As we look towards our future, let's remember that we are the future. The rest of our life is waiting in the stars. We just have to fly out there and experience it. Thomas Jefferson once said, by now there should be only one person still listening to this speech by now. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Jonah.
In all seriousness, we're here today to celebrate our time in high school. By far the most recent 4 years of our lives, because we all know they won't be the best. But our time in high school is an important part of our lives. So for now, let's forget about the future. It's going to come whether we want it to or not, and whatever plans we have are inevitably going to change. Today isn't about the next 20 years, it's about the last 4. In freshman year, we arrived at Global with no idea of what this school was supposed to be. We were all separated into groups. The Finley kids, the Howard kids, the Maypearl kids, all 5 of us. We were taking weird classes like PIT with Miss Snook, IED with Miss Casey, and reading note class with Mrs. Klein. I remember getting in trouble because we wouldn't stop playing video games on the school computers. We left a ton of trash in the courtyards, and I'm sure we all remember how much the seniors hated us that year. In sophomore year, we started to figure things out. We learned that sometimes life's just not fair in Mr. Stevo's class. Those lucky, or maybe unlucky souls that got Dr. Lester got to watch him laugh as we tried to figure out stoichiometry, a subject that is just as hard to understand as it is to spell. I personally don't remember much of sophomore year because I pretty much committed all of my extra time, brain power, and vital organs to the robotics club that year.
Yeah.
By the time junior year came around, we were battle-hardened survivors of Global High, filled with boundless cynicism and unquenchable apathy. Mrs. Casey's physics class learned the hard way that you never know what you've got till it's gone when she went on maternity leave, and we had to learn magnetism and electrostatics by ourselves. We were blessed with our first class from Mr. Covington, the only teacher in the universe that knows how to make a history lecture interesting. We had our first school-wide field day where we saw Isaac wander through a maze of chairs with a bucket on his head while Jacob shouted at him in his own made-up language. We also broke the news to Ben Lemke that Chase Conroy was not, in fact, Jack LaPellery's older brother. Finally, all of our hard work paid off with senior year, the laziest year of our adolescent lives. While some of us tried to sort through 3 years' worth of drama, others went to Getzendaner to catch some Pokemon. All of us worked around the clock to procrastinate our capstone project as much as possible. I also got to make TSA Nationals with the best tech bowl and video game design teams ever. But I think my favorite memory from high school came from senior year. So one day during advisory, Jackson and Dakota show up in Miss Casey's room with 3 boxes, and they're like covered in paper plates, bowls, pipe cleaners, and bits of wrapping paper. They presented her with their offerings, and she opened them up to find a pineapple, a watermelon, a honeydew inside. So then they pull out plastic forks and knives to try to open them up, but as you might expect, it wasn't going very well. It was at this point that Jack grabbed the watermelon, ripped off his tearaway pants, and crushed the watermelon between his thighs, spraying sticky juice and watermelon flesh on the floor. Then Ben Lemke hollowed up the watermelon and used it as a helmet. Anyways, it's been a long time since freshman year. When we all got here, there were about 130 people in our class. Now, we're down to just 84. We've made it through Restilo's labs, Casey's tests, Brake's quizzes, and the greatest challenge of them all, fitness walking. We said hi to Mr. Covington. Then we went inside and tried to hide from Dr. Lester because we didn't have our ID, kiddo. Now we all, hopefully, have our plans for after high school laid out. I once heard someone say that applying for college is a bit like a marriage proposal. We dressed up in our best clothes, wrote a beautiful love letter, bought the perfect ring, and took our special someone out to a lovely meal. We got on one knee, looked into their eyes, and popped the question. Then they said, all right, I'll review your proposal and get back to you in about 3 months. We replied, sounds good. I've got 4 of the backups in case you say no.
Oh, good. Go well.
Then we counted our pennies and realized that this would probably put us into some serious student debt. But hey, how else are you supposed to afford a cap, gown, and tassel from Jostens? But as we gather here today in these glorified ponchos and cardboard hats, let's remember the good times we had and say goodbye to this chapter of our lives. Goodbye to the wonderful educators at Global High.
Yeah.
Goodbye to the faculty, the food staff, the custodians, the administrators. Goodbye to the TC Waddlebon building. Thank you for hosting Global High for all these years. We'll miss your wide windows and cozy atmosphere. We won't miss your squeaky floors, tiny classrooms, and air conditioning that turned the top floor into a sauna and the bottom floor into a meat locker.
I'm like where I work.
Goodbye, class of 2018. As we go our separate ways, I'm realizing that I probably won't see many of you again. I wish everyone good luck and happiness for the future, and I hope that our paths cross again someday. At Global High, we believe in success, but I want to leave you with this quote that I found from Albert Schweitzer. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. And there are no birthdays today, so have a good day, Global High. Please welcome Ashley Gonzalez and Megan Dexter to the stage for a special performance.